All right? Um, I mean, it's clear fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right? And nobody's asking you to hold Caitlin Clark's hand. Just play fair and stop with the WWE bullshit. And your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink.
Caitlin Clark has been the center of attention all season long. From packed arenas to record-breaking TV ratings, she's become the face of a WNBA revolution. But behind all the highlight reels and endorsement deals, Clark has also become the unwilling lightning rod in a deeper media war, one that boiled over when ESPN pushed a narrative she simply couldn't stay silent about. When the WNBA All-Star Game came around, it was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it turned into a PR stunt gone wrong. And Caitlin Clark, she just blew the lid off the whole thing.
The WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. FAFO. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events.
It started with the hype. ESPN went all in on marketing the All-Star Game, and Clark was at the heart of it. Commercials, countdowns, graphics, her name was everywhere. According to the network, this was going to be her moment. A coronation. The WNBA's biggest new star taking center stage among the league's elite. Fans were told to expect fireworks, a spotlight, a celebration of Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Who is this? Grant Young, okay, at SI. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game felt like a pivotal point in not only the league's current season, but also for its future. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly.
But behind the scenes, that's not what happened. Clark didn't start. She barely played significant minutes, and when she was on the floor, she was often iced out, relegated to standing in the corner, watching the ball swing the other way. It was obvious to everyone watching, this wasn't the all-star showcase ESPN had promised. This was something else entirely, and Caitlin knew it. The media tried to spin it. ESPN anchors praised the teamwork and chemistry. Analysts tiptoed around the awkwardness, but fans weren't buying it. Social media exploded. Clips circulated showing Clark wide open and ignored. Hashtags started trending, leather play, and Clark freeze out. What was supposed to be a celebration had become a spectacle, and not in the way ESPN wanted. Then came the interviews. Clark was asked, diplomatically of course, about her all-star experience. Most rookies would have given a canned answer, played it safe. But Clark chose honesty, and in doing so, she exposed the entire charade. "It's not really about me," she said calmly. "It's about the fans. People traveled a long way to be here. They paid to see something special, and I just hope they got what they came for." It was the kind of quote that sounds neutral on paper, but was a direct hit at the heart of ESPN's illusion. Caitlin wasn't attacking her teammates. She wasn't throwing a tantrum. She was pointing out the truth. The game was sold as a Caitlin Clark show, but it was anything but. And that's when the media machine started to crack. Suddenly, ESPN's talking heads changed their tone. There were discussions about whether Clark had been frozen out. Reports emerged suggesting some players had been instructed not to feed the hype. Rumors swirled about resentment within the locker room. What started as whispers turned into full-on debate. But Caitlin didn't fan the flames. She didn't need to. The truth was already out. Because here's the part ESPN didn't count on. Caitlin Clark's fan base isn't passive. They don't forget, and they're not afraid to speak up. The All-Star Game became a turning point, not just in how fans saw the WNBA, but in how they saw the media's role in shaping narratives. ESPN had promised them something magical. Instead, they got politics, pettiness, and silence from a network that tried to script the whole thing. Clark's quiet defiance sent a message louder than any highlight reel. You can market her, you can monetize her, but you can't control her. She's not a puppet, she's not a placeholder, and she won't play along with a narrative that doesn't reflect reality. In the weeks that followed, Clark kept doing what she does best, playing elite-level basketball. She dropped 30 points on one team, nailed logo threes in another. She kept her composure, kept smiling, and kept speaking up. Not with outrage, but with clarity. Every post-game interview was a subtle reminder she sees what's happening, and so do we. And then came the ratings. Despite being sidelined in the All-Star Game, the numbers were historic. Highest-rated WNBA All-Star broadcast in years, massive social engagement, and the majority of that interest traced directly back to Caitlin Clark. ESPN couldn't hide from the truth anymore. They had used her to draw a crowd and then failed to deliver what the crowd came to see. That misstep came at a cost: trust. Fans began calling out the network more directly. Sponsors noticed. YouTubers and independent journalists ran exposés. The phrase ESPN's big lie started gaining traction. The network's attempt to stage manage the narrative had backfired spectacularly. All because one rookie had the nerve to say what everyone else was thinking. In truth, this wasn't about one game. It wasn't even about one player. It was about who gets to tell the story. For too long, networks like ESPN have assumed they control the script, that fans will believe whatever they broadcast, no matter how disconnected it is from what's happening on the court. Caitlin Clark shattered that illusion. Her call-out wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was devastating because it came from a place of truth. She knows the game, she knows the business, and she knows when she's being used, but she also knows her power. And that's what makes this moment so important. Caitlin Clark didn't rage, she didn't boycott, she didn't play the victim. She exposed the lie by doing what she's always done, showing up, speaking up, and playing like a generational talent. In doing so, she reminded the world that authenticity still matters, that fans aren't fools, and that even billion-dollar media machines can't manufacture truth. The fallout is still unfolding. ESPN is scrambling to reframe the narrative. Other players are being more careful with their comments. The league is rethinking how it handles its stars. And Caitlin, she's already moved on, already preparing for the next game, already focused on what matters. Because for her, the goal isn't headlines, it's legacy. And maybe that's what scared ESPN the most. She didn't need their lie, she never did. If you're tired of being told what to believe, if you want the raw, unfiltered truth behind the game, this is the place for you. Catch a dime, we'll catch you in the next one. Ask ChatGPT.